Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle out one major arcana from the Secrets of Tarot cards to see what major part of your life is calling to be addressed. I just saw the number 22 if you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, and if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. The link to that will be in the description. I just do more readings over there. Try to be as consistent here, but no promises. Alright, before I get you your first card, remember that this is a general tarot reading, so use your judgment and make sure the messages that you pay attention to truly do resonate. Actually, we'll take that one. We got, the Chariot. Now I'm really curious which one I put down. Oh, wow. The other one was the Hanged Man. I think I'm going to take both of these. I'm kind of feeling called to. I think I already did the Hanged Man in this style of reading recently, but I'm not sure. The 7 on its own is about bringing good luck, good fortune to yourself by first focusing on your healing and releasing things that no longer serve you. And then the number 3 for the Hanged Man, that's about your healing, your growth. So this feels like a really strong confirmation for someone who, you know, if you're on the path of healing and you feel like you're on your way to better days or to a lot more abundance, you're definitely not wrong about that. I see that right now your most important focus is to have more control over your life, over your reality, through first having more control over your thoughts, your perspectives, how you look at yourself, and ultimately how you look at the world. Mirroring might be significant. Remember that what's going on the inside is a reflection of what's going on the outside. So if there's chaos within, there's going to be chaos without. I just saw 2, 3, 4. Trust that everything happens for a reason. Definitely keep trying to find deeper meaning in the things that you can't control, especially about your past. Maybe around childhood, this deeper meaning could have a lot to do with a sense of purpose. Someone is definitely being called right now to follow their purpose, but to be able to do that, they first need to focus on themselves and unlock and tap into their own potential, if that makes sense, especially by trusting that everything happens for a reason. That's sort of what the Hanged Man is all about, trusting in one's own decisions is very important right now. I think you may be needing to learn more about how to trust and believe in yourself and your decisions, for sure. Someone is definitely trying to gain more control over their actions, and there's definitely some spiritual support behind that or backing that. But now I'm going to move on to the Magical Dogs Tarot to look even deeper into this. I'm really interested in this because we have 2 major arcanas in this reading instead of 1 as planned. I feel this message coming up about how plans are made to be replanned. That's usually what I tell people. Like, you can't be so rigid about life. You have to be willing to adapt with change. And, you know, it's possible for humans to do that. I think that's why we've been able to survive for so long. But let's see what your first card is from this deck. Oh, okay, so we have the 4 of Wands. That was, if you heard that little noise in the background, that was my PlayStation controller dying. Or not dying, just turning off, because I was playing a video game before I started recording. It was Sims, so maybe Sims could be a significant game for you. 4, 5, 6, trust that everything happens for a reason. Me personally, Sims really helps me gain new perspectives about life, and that's why I think it's just so interesting. But as we were talking about before that little noise, don't you love when the universe comes in with little interruptive messages like that? Anyway, with the Four of Wands, your foundation is very, very important right now. How stable it is, how secure it is, how stable and secure you are financially and in your relationships with the people that you surround yourself with. I definitely feel called to say how on this picture there's like a playfulness between these two dogs. And I'm thinking of the Five of Wands, which in this deck is, competitiveness. It's dogs trying to compete with each other. So definitely surround yourself with people who are looking to collaborate, not compete. There's something here about maybe someone caring too much about status or money or things like that. Someone here, it feels like there's a very materialistic presence here. If it's you, you're definitely being called to be careful with what you do with your resources, protect your resources from being taken advantage of, and you just ultimately being taken for granted. There's definitely someone here who's really, really trying to get in touch with their intuition, so that way maybe they have less anxiety in their life, things feel more predictable. Definitely keep going down this path of trying to believe in yourself more, and definitely trust yourself more. Maybe there's something here about unintentional gaslighting or unintentional manipulation. People can still be manipulative without even knowing it. It's like I'm feeling this message to know the difference between survival tactics and ill intent. Someone here is acting from a place of survival, all or nothing kind of mentality. If it's you, this is a lack mentality that you really, really need to address, and you need to appreciate more the things that you have, so you can stop focusing on what you don't, and that focus isn't holding you back from having more in life, for sure. Your resources and the people you surround yourself with are very, very important right now. The biggest thing you need to be focused on is finding stability, and maybe even in general with your routine, finding a more balanced routine and making sure that you're taking time for yourself when you need to. Listen to your body, for sure. We have the Two of Wands. Yeah, someone is definitely trying to gain more confidence in their decisions, and there may be a fork in the road where you're really being called to make a very, very important decision. I feel like it has a lot to do with choosing self-love or choosing self-destruction. I'm telling you now, be careful with the choices that you make, because I'm really feeling like the universe is not playing. Yeah, take your healing, take your spirituality, take your choices, take your self-confidence, everything. Take that stuff seriously, because it really, really matters. If a bunch of people don't believe in themselves as they do now, and they don't trust themselves, that's how oppression and stuff like that happens. So keep learning how to use your voice and to stand up for yourself and to protect yourself from things that you don't deserve. It is so, so important that each individual person does this, releases what no longer serves them. Your part is just as important as everyone else's, and the only way we're really going to make a difference is literally one person at a time. So definitely keep playing your part if that resonates. Oh my gosh, we have the Star. The Star card here symbolizes, I'm feeling like a rebirth, a surge of hope after a lot of destruction. You could already be in this energy where you've had that upheaval in your life and things are getting better, or that is down the road for you. It just really depends on the path that you choose, the decisions that you make. The Star card is definitely a sign here that you have an opportunity here to choose better, to choose to give yourself more, to love yourself unconditionally. I'm going to make more room here. this star, this hopeful energy is only a promise if you make a promise to yourself, a commitment to yourself, to you, and your mental health and what you deserve, so that way we can collectively have what we all deserve. We all have an impact. And don't forget that. Your energy is going to show up either in destructive ways or constructive ways, and it's up to you to decide. The 10 of Wands. Yeah. If you are struggling with this very heavy burden, this weight that you feel like you're carrying, terrified, but at the same time dragging yourself through life, you don't deserve to live like that. There is a huge burden here that you need to take off of your shoulders. This could be mentally, emotionally, and it's definitely material in some way, maybe relationships or money or a job or somewhere that you live or something like that. So, yeah. Maybe there's an attachment here that you really, really need to let go of. And letting go of that attachment is not only going to release the mental, emotional, and spiritual weight that you feel, it's also going to give you more of the material things that every human desires. There's nothing wrong with wanting material things. It's just your emotions and your thoughts, your mental health is very much more important than money or having a certain person in your life, because your mental health, your state of mind literally creates the state of your life, the quality of your life. So if you're having more challenging outcomes in life, I feel like you're being called to ask yourself how you could tap into your own power in some way. Definitely don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and to fight for what you deserve. Next we have the 7 of Cups. Clarifying the 4 of Wands, I just saw 12:22. So the universe is calling for someone to meet halfway through authenticity, being yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, and trusting that everything happens for a reason, and being very patient with not only your own process but the collective process as well. You're definitely being called to look at the bigger picture in some way. With the 7 of Cups here, yeah, like I said about your choices, they are very, very important right now. The choices that you make now will dictate your future. We create the future in the present moment. So definitely focus on staying present and understanding thoughts and feelings that pull you away from gratitude, patience, being present, and those kinds of things. It's interesting as well with having the 7 of Cups with the Chariot represented with the number 7. I really, really feel like the universe, your spirit guides or whatever, are really trying to come through to let you know and to reassure you that your healing is going to pay off. You are not going to regret choosing yourself, recognizing your worth, and giving yourself what you deserve. Even if you have some difficult challenges to face, if you just saw what you deserved, you would be willing to face them. So if you definitely don't see why it's really important that you take care of your mental health, then you really need to take a hard look into the mirror and, see yourself for who you are in both light and dark aspects. And, through a lens of kindness as well as through a lens of trying to learn and understand, so that way you can also, help yourself, how can I become a better version of myself? You are important. You matter more than you may ever know. Maybe you will if you keep, healing and going down the spiritual path. But, yeah. Oh, now we have Justice. I just saw 444. It feels like there's going to be some justice around your home life and the people you surround yourself with. You may find a new place to live where you feel more safe and more secure because you stepped into that courage that you needed to do that. Or you might find relationships that you actually deserve that are lasting and are healthy because you took the courage to choose you. You need to stop looking at yourself like small and powerless and like you don't matter, because it's not true just because something didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to. Like, don't beat yourself up about things that aren't about you and that you can never control, like from the universe, like events in your life that you can't control. Don't take them personally. It's not punishment. It's not, you're not a bad person. The only thing that isn't really that great is how hard you are on yourself, because you could be your own worst enemy for sure. And it's not fair to yourself to keep being destructive and sabotaging yourself from what you deserve. You need to bring yourself justice on the inside, and you need to find closure with something, so that way you can bring yourself justice on the outside. Your inner world is a reflection of what's going on in your outer world. Mirroring might be really, really significant for someone, or maybe understanding some sort of spiritual concept or two. That could be significant. You have the opportunity here to choose. With the Two of Wands here being clarified by the Justice card, you have the opportunity here to choose to give yourself justice. Being stubborn is not going to get you what you want. The universe is not going to give more to stubborn and self-destructive people, because it doesn't want to reinforce that behavior. You got to protect yourself from the universe just as much as the universe has to protect itself from you. And that's not personal. That's just to anyone who is self-destructive, to kind of get them to see that, you're not separate from nature. We're all connected, and that's just why the energy that you put out there matters so, so much. Next, we have the Fool card. Oh my God. There is a huge, new, beautiful, bright beginning. Wow. And the World card, this closure that I'm feeling, the World card comes before the Fool card. And the Fool card is a beginning card. Like, the cycle starts all over again. So I really feel like there could be new relationships waiting for you, a new home life waiting for you, maybe even a new career. And really just getting there, you have to focus on healing. It's simple, but it's also not, You definitely have the opportunity to unlock some really awesome, fulfilling opportunities in your life, but you first need to stop trying to fill other cups with an empty cup. You need to be focused on filling up your own cup. If you don't know that metaphor or whatever, you might want to look it up, because in my opinion it's kind of hard to explain. But with the Fool card being represented with an O or a 0, I'm not sure, but the shape of it, I know that it's about the infiniteness of life, of energy, of our souls. Like, our souls are eternal, but the material world that we experience isn't. Everything is energy, even us. I think someone really, really needs to see the interconnectedness that every human has, regardless of race or gender or nationality or any of that stuff. Underneath it all, we're all the same on a mental and emotional level, even men. And it's interesting, because some women can be stronger than men as well. I definitely feel someone is being called to break illusions around like gender stereotypes, and really seeing people for who they are instead of who you want them to be, because a certain color of their skin or a certain gender, that's going to be hard to hear for somebody. But yeah, someone really needs to see how we're all connected, and someone needs to see under the surface and to stop taking things at face value. For the last card from this deck, we have the King of Swords. this weight being lifted definitely is intellectual. You're being called to make sure your actions align with truth, with your own morals and your values. Maybe there's some cognitive dissonance that needs to be addressed here. You need to be focused on clearing your mind, not overthinking, focusing on trying to work with your anxiety. It's not about getting rid of it. It's normal to feel fear. That's just the human in you. You just need to learn how to find comfort outside of your comfort zone by learning how to believe in yourself more and to trust yourself more, especially when it comes to maybe things that you believe about life and death. To wrap up this reading, I'm going to get a deck big enough to shuffle from this box of cards that I have. Alright, I'm glad they all just flew on the floor. I'm going to put a little bit of these back. My mouth is so dry right now. Okay, so we have the number 12 that says, how are you feeling? Why? Find a way to help yourself feel better and stay focused. When it comes to trying to find a way to help yourself feel better and actually, feel in the process of getting better, be patient with yourself, allow yourself to grieve or to feel in any way that you need to, and just be observant of these feelings and what thoughts you're having that are creating these feelings, so that way you can, change your thoughts. Our thoughts is one thing that we do have complete and total control over. How we look at ourselves and how we look at the world. We have the power to change how we look at things, to change our perspective. Empathy might be significant in some way. You might be empathetic yourself. If you can communicate with others, you can communicate with yourself, and I highly recommend doing that. Maybe even communicating with your inner child in some way. The number 12 comes down to a 3, and this always makes me think of some sort of heartbreak that you're experiencing around being misunderstood and mistreated as a result of that. Don't take being misunderstood personally. It's more about, them people and everything, and not about you. Don't look at yourself as small just because other people want to look at you that way. It's okay. I definitely feel someone needs to also be more accepting of the fact that they can't control what people think of them, and to just, really be comfortable in who you are, and, being willing to face whatever you have to give yourself what you deserve. Just saw 333, and I'm thinking about one time I told my neighbor that you really have to love yourself to want to keep up with doctor's visits and stuff like that, because I don't think anyone likes taking care of their health. I just saw 2, 3, 4, 5. Trust that everything happens for a reason. Every experience in your life is for a reason, even the difficult, challenging ones that you don't understand why you went through what you did. But you can understand the meaning behind it all if you allow yourself to slow down, to be able to, really see how you feel on the inside, or something like that. Definitely be like in analyzer, observant mode when it comes to healing and understanding your thoughts, how your mind is operating, so that way you can rewire your brain. Neuroplasticity might be significant. You might want to look that up. The next one we have says you're a step closer to your dreams. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Every choice that you make that is rooted in self-love, every choice we make is either about self-love or self-destruction. For the better of all, or ruthless self-gain. And each time you make a decision out of self-love, it brings you closer and closer to things that you deeply desire out of life on many, many different levels. So if the mystery of spirituality and healing is calling to you and you want to keep walking this path, highly recommend you do. For sure. I'm going to get just these last 2 cards, maybe just one of them. We'll see how much time we have. The first one we have, ooh, it just says heal. Let's see what the other one says. Oh, it says the 8 of Wands with number 8. Embrace change, stay open-minded, embrace progress, accept new ways to discover more. Don't let fear hold you back. Yeah, your healing is very, very important right now, especially when it comes to overcoming your fears and, not looking at, just you are not your fears. You really need to see that, because we can still move forward and find the courage to keep moving forward despite how we feel. Feelings are just feelings. We don't always have to act on them. Let me see. The number 8 is definitely a message to let go, knowing that you deserve more. Let go of the stubbornness and the frustration, and stop taking things that you can't control personally, because it's more about the bigger picture than, trying to punish you. I want to say that sacrifices need to be made, but we just need to be careful with what sacrifices we make. So definitely look at what you're sacrificing and ask yourself if it's worth it in the long run. Oh yeah, for sure. Accept new ways to discover more. I definitely feel someone here, it doesn't have to be everyone, might be more traditional or on the conservative side, you don't have to be, it just could be someone who is uncomfortable with change. I see, when I think someone who's afraid of change, I think conservative, so I'm not thinking about it necessarily in a political way, but definitely be open to new ideas and new ways of looking at things, and definitely be open to being wrong. That's definitely like an essential thing that we need to have to really tap into our potential, into our power, is being open to being wrong, for sure. But that will wrap up your reading. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that, that's the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.